A very good afternoon, dear participants. Welcome to day 2 of the National Summit. In few minutes, we are going to start the session. Humble request to all the participants to kindly keep your microphone muted and also your videos muted. As and when required, if you have any query, we would unmute you. And yesterday's quiz that we had conducted, we have resent the link in the chat box. Kindly request the ones who have not taken up the quiz to kindly take up. We would be announcing the results to you shortly. I also request the participants to be prepared with few questions, as we are going to have eminent resource people for both the sessions. So kindly request you to be prepared with the questions. Thank you. We'll start the session shortly.
Hey friends, today I'm going to teach you about percussion instruments. Do you want to know more about them?
Apologies on behalf of our team. We are just waiting for the resource person and he's likely to join any moment. So kindly bear with us. We are very, very sorry. Well, had a detailed glimpse by Professor Meenakshi Sood yesterday, and she gave so much of information and data. I'm sure it is a lot of work for all of us to do. And as we also understand that from next year on, coming academic year onwards, I think the process will begin. And we also understand that each state government will have some format where certain flexibility will be provided, because providing complete multidisciplinarity, one from commerce, one from arts, one from science, may take some more time. So yes, we have to be prepared. We have to think of logistics. We have to think of the timetable. We have to think of collaborations. So all this in mind, I think we have to start working for it. Unless we are ready with all aspects, we only have to study that what combination will work best, what collaboration we can have from a neighborhood institution. We are also preparing to create online content. That can some courses be there partially on the online mode, some courses can be jointly ventured. So all this is the pre-exercise that we have already started at St.Ann's. We are preparing units for each subject, and then anything that is common between two subjects. Like that, our idea is to have a bouquet of two courses as a combination, and one can be an optional. Like as we used to have honors and ancillary, so something on those lines. We are preparing on those lines also. And we are also approaching subject experts to identify the areas of interdisciplinary approach. So if one department teaches a similar topic, the other department need not teach that. So at this level at St.Anne's, we are trying to work out the content-wise, the options of taking it into online mode, and options of having collaboration with the institutes. It can be physical collaboration with the neighboring institutes. We can also think of a collaboration where online course is there from anywhere. So the area is really open. It just needs for us to identify where we can do. So this seminar was actually meant to have some kind of set guidelines which we were expecting, and which in next two sessions, how NAC is going to make us work towards the NEP, and what kind of credit structure will be there, and also a comprehensive picture, because finally each institution has to think from their resources, their infrastructure, their limitations, their intellectual capital, and then the next level would be at the parent university, because every affiliated college or autonomous will have to go with the parent university. So we also have to be in touch with our parent university regularly, so that we are getting ready, because suddenly if it is announced that from this academic year it has to be followed, it's going to be very difficult. So we suggested to all the other colleges, and including us, to keep ourselves ready, at least explore the options that will be available to us. Of course, we all know that when something falls on our head, then only we will start working. But in this case, we have already started working. And that is the idea, that even if you have any suggestions or some work that is being done at the participating colleges, maybe you can share it with us. And also, may I request Mr. Srikala, maybe you could also tell us about the quiz that we took yesterday. One thing we really appreciate, that everybody answered very sincerely, because Google was very quick to give answers, but though responses were 50%, 60%.
Yes.
So over to you, Shrikala.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon once again to everyone. Right, there are 73 responses and average mark is 8.64 on 15 points. It's not bad. We can say more than the average, more than the half. And median is also 8. So as statistician, I can say the data is not much skewed. It's almost symmetric. And the range of the score is 2 to 15 points. So this suggests that we all have to increase definitely mainly the awareness on the NEP 2020, as we are academicians who are going to lead this mission and get the fruitful results by 2040, the target set by the Ministry of Education. So this is the pulse of the respondents. Yeah, ma'am. This is what till now, till this minute over the responses we got. This is the analysis, and the question answered correctly by most are this NEP 2020 current 10+2 system to be replaced by what is the new structure, that is the years 5+3 plus 3 plus 4. 74% answered correctly. Another question, interestingly, at least all of us understood that most of us, that the NEP is proposing an inquiry driven and discovery oriented teaching system, education system. Most correctly answered questions. Yes, ma'am, this is the analysis I could see.
You could give the answers to each question.
Shall I?
Yes.
Yeah, we will get to know. Yeah, first one, under the chairmanship of whom Committee for Evaluation of the New Education Policy submitted its report in the year May 2016. It is late Shri T.S.R. Subramanian. NEP 2020, 10+2 is being replaced with 5+3 plus 3 plus 4 year structure. According to NEP 2020, by how much percentage the gross enrollment ratio in higher education raised? 50% to be raised. NEP 2020 recommends multilingualism. NEP 2020 proposes that education should be inquiry driven and discovery oriented. What is the proposed name of National Teacher Education Framework of 2021? That is National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, NCFTE 2021. What is the single greatest tool for achieving social justice and equality according to NEP 2020? It is the education, whether inclusive, equitable, whatever, but it is the education. NEP 2020 proposed to set up National Assessment Center. What is the name of NAC? It is Parak. What is the full form of ABC as per NEP 2020? Yesterday we had the information given on this. Academic Bank of Credit, so that it becomes transferable for the students migrating from different educational institutions. Next, MERU stands for Multi-Disciplinary Education and Research University. The NEP 2020 replaces NEP of 1986.
I'm trying to reach out to Ponmudi sir.
6 years back. Ministry of
This is
HRD,
Sana calling from Hyderabad.
Ministry of Education, MOE we famously call it as. NEP 2020 stated to establish a national repository of high quality resources on foundational literacy and numeracy on government digital platform. The name of that platform is Diksha. DASH will be created as an apex body for fostering a strong research culture and building research capacity. That is the National Research Foundation. This is the apex body to be created for fostering the research culture in HEIs. The new policy aims in the higher education to improve the gross enrollment ratio from 26.3 to 50% by the year 2035 or 2040 at least. So these are the correct responses, correct answers for these basic questions on NEP 2020, which is much talked about and wherein we have to implement this in the future coming years. Yeah, I'm glad that the average is increasing, 9. Does increase it to median of 9. Yeah, Smita ma'am, this is from my side regarding the quiz.
Okay, thank you so much, Shrikala.
It's
So
fine.
all student participants are very happy
Yes,
that at least they got distinction, first class marks,
definitely, ma'am.
average of the group.
Yeah.
And as students, maybe they will be happy that if teacher is coming late. But here, all our student participants are very anxious to hear Dr. Ponmudi Raj from Advisor NAC. And he just says 2 more minutes. So kindly bear with us for 2 more minutes. We can also utilize this time to discuss matters of academic interest. And our college went for assessment of third cycle under the revised format, and we got an A+ grade. So from that time, we are mentoring number of institutions in the state. UGC granted us a status of mentor under Paramar scheme, where we are mentoring the upcoming colleges, those who want to go for assessment for the first time. And this process through our mentorship center, STAM, St.Ann's mentorship program, we advise, we suggest, and we offer mentorship to any institution which is interested in strengthening their preparation for NAC assessment. So we are not great experts, but we can always share our experience. So if anybody has any question about it, we will be very happy to answer. Last year, we had conducted two workshops on assessment and accreditation process. So if anybody has any questions, you can please put it in the chat box. Any college which is planning to go for the first time, or anybody else also, if there is any point that we would like to be discussed, we'll be very happy to talk about it. I know it is. Again, apologies that the resource person says just another minute. So, what best way to utilize this time? So, if there are any questions on the assessment process, I know we are deviating from the main theme, but if there is any question, we can take it up. Or we'll listen to music. No, we are not going to implement from the coming year because we thought we need 1 year preparation. So we'll be preparing for the year 22-23 and we'll go for it only in 23. Question asked Rajput. Thank you for your question, but that is our plan. Well, we thought people may have some questions on by putting up with the SSR. So I think everybody is very comfortable. There are no doubts. That's fantastic. Yes, Ms. Jyoti Singh, you can type your question in the chat box. Yes, sir. Dr. Ponmudi Raj was held up in some meeting. Now he's connecting. Francina, sir has joined. Oh, he's there. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Sincere apologies to all the participants. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the dignitaries and all the participants. Thank you for joining us for two-day NAC-supported online national seminar on NEP, Transforming Vision into Quality Engagement at higher education institutions, organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, St. Anne's College for Women. Let's place ourselves in the presence of God and invoke God's blessings through a prayer song.
In heavenly home I will enter the land. The light of life belongs to the Lord. No weapons fashioned against us can stand. The light of life belongs to the Lord. And we sing glory, honor, power and strength to the Lord. And we sing glory, honor, power and strength to the Lord. When power of darkness comes in like a flood, the light of life belongs to the Lord. We are the torch bearers of the future. The light of life belongs to the Lord. And we sing glory, honor, power and strength to the Lord. And we sing glory, honor, power and strength to the Lord. The light of life of the Lord, the light of life of the Lord, the light of life, the light of life, the light of life.
A brief report of day one seminar. Day one
Marcina, I think we could do it in valedictory.
Okay, ma'am. Yes. We take pride in welcoming our esteemed academicians and policy regulators as the resource people for the online national seminar. We are immensely honored and glad to have with us today Dr. B.S. Ponmudiraj, advisor with the NAC. We extend our warm welcome to you, sir. Kindly accept our green greetings. I now welcome Dr. Amreen, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, to introduce our resource person, Dr. B.S. Ponmudiraj.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah.
A very good afternoon to all the dignitaries present here. On behalf of the St. Anne's College for Women and the IQAC team, I take this honor to introduce our distinguished speaker for today. Dr. B.S. Ponmudiraj is currently the advisor with the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC India. Prior to joining NAC as an assistant professor in statistics, he was teaching in Christ College, Bangalore, Loyola Evening College, Chennai, and Loyola College Autonomous, Chennai. He had been a visiting faculty to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Institute for Textile Management, Coimbatore. He has 30 years of teaching and educational administrative experience. His special interests are training of assessors for quality assurance and quality literacy. He has published papers in journals and also articles in books. He also presented papers in the international and national seminars and conferences. He had organized national level assessors. He has organized national level assessors training programs and is being a trainer for the same. He had been associated with an international research project. Dr. Ponmudiraj has been a resource person for many seminars, conferences, and has been an invited speaker for academic activities. He had published reports on higher education in specific areas. He has visited about 350 colleges and universities in India. He has also visited the United Kingdom, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Thailand, Australia, Cambodia, Qatar, France, Belgium, Spain, Switzerland, and Nepal. He underwent training in Australia for quality assurance and peer review and visited a couple of Australian universities. As an international expert, he was a member of the Accreditation Committee for the Department of Architecture, American International University, Bangladesh, Dhaka. Accreditation Committee for 4 colleges in Nepal, trainer for QA and PR workshop at Hanoi, Vietnam. He also was the host and coordinator for many international delegations on behalf of NAC. Sir, in this 2 minutes of introduction, I may not be able to justify your entire achievements. With due respect, I would like to invite you to open the session. So please take over. Thank you.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
My screen?
No, sir, not yet.
Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Also, I already apologized, and on behalf of the organizers are also apologized. Someone said sorry and thank you are two good words, nice words, quote and unquote. I do not know, but it contains a world of meaning in it. But it is not substantially allowed to wait for 102 experts. Equivalently, everybody appears. Everybody learns. I also learn and you also learn, though the resource person made you all to wait for an hour or so. I was held up in a series of meetings, though I was committed. I wanted somebody to take over and put a presentation on the NAC website. There is a video clipping. I think it's around 11 to 15 minutes. I want you all to play it. I heard, if I'm right, they could have played it also. And some input session, filler gaps could have been done, I suppose. Actually, they said told 3 to 5. I was talking to Smita and Francisca that I cannot able to make it for 2 hours. I can make it for some 20 minutes or so. But finally, I thought I'll just take an till the end. This is about the introduction. Let us go straight into business. I'll try to take around 10, 15, 20 minutes or 25 minutes, maximum half an hour. And we can have some half an hour if time permits, question and answers. Normally, when the time frame is given 3 to 5, people normally exceed the time. I'll try to concede the time. So let me see how far it is able to go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and for waiting and joining us for this wonderful seminar, or you can call IQAC National Seminar on the NEP Transforming Vision. I just took only 2 words, transforming vision and NEP. So before we put the slides like this, I'm starting with a small quote. Is my screen is visible? Francina, Smita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
And,
if it can be made into a slideshow, sir.
It is a slideshow.
No, it's not.
It's not in a slideshow mode, sir.
That is, I do not know. Every time it happens like that. Now it is a slideshow.
It's gone now.
No, I'm making a slideshow, but it is not coming to you all as a slideshow. This is a slideshow, isn't it?
Yes.
Now? Is it?
This is okay. We can stay. See.
No, for me, I have shared the screen. I have made full screen. The sharing itself, I made full screen, not my screen. I'm not more PowerPoint. There must be some technical glitches. I'm not sure.
Yes, it's clear, sir. Now it's clear. We can go.
Okay, because I made the volume, I made the font size big, so it should be able to suffice. Otherwise, I'll try my best. Twice I stopped sharing and it is showing the same thing. Okay. A nation is advanced in proportion to education and intelligence spread among the masses. This is a quote I'm taking from Swami Vivekananda, because when I talk about intelligentsia, you would have heard about all the messages from different types of people. Hundreds and hundreds of webinars are going on across the country on NEP, including the feedbacks on NEP from different states and stakeholders. So when you talk about, I just wanted to put this quote to talk about the spread of intelligentsia. Intelligentsia is much more than BA, BSc, BCom, MA, MSc, MCom, MPhil, PhD, DSc, DLET. Now MPhil is not there in the NEP, or your 10th and 12th and 8th standard, and all the examination put together. Okay. This is, God has given us the same kind of intelligentsia when we were born, a little spiritual. I'm trying to explain what Swami Vivekananda could have meant. So this is the mass intelligentsia gives the advancement of a nation. It's a very, very strong statement. I can speak 1 hour on this first slide, though I have some 20, 30 slides on NEP. So this is where I want to quote and move into the, first of all, if you wanted to try to understand NEP, then only you can talk about pedagogy, teaching. You can talk about colleges. You can talk about universities. You can talk about degree grading, autonomous degree awarding in institutions, affiliated colleges. Because there's a transformation, 2030. This is the policy which talks about transformation. This is a policy which has given timelines. By 2020, 29 July 2020, everybody understands the Honorable Cabinet of India has approved it. 1 year is over and a lot of regulations are coming through UGC, multiple exit, multiple entry, ABC, NAD, Digital India. So many initiatives. So I do not know how many of you under the ACT portal or where all your students were undergoing that internship. This is a question. You do not answer. Please do not answer. 105 people are there. Simple questions I'm asking. Then you can understand what is the role of principal, HODs, IQAC, IQAC coordinator, director IQAC. Not simply preparing the AQR, SSR. Sir, we are 3.76 A++, 3.46 A+. It's okay. It's good. Very good. Some colleges are getting blacklisted because they're doing into some fraudulent matters like forgery and making manipulation of data in DVV. So this is where the first slide I put about the, the philosophy. Very important when we talk about quality, when you talk about NEP, we talk about self-regulation. Light but tight. These are the wonderful words used in NEP. Okay, let me come back to the next slide. Let me go a little slower and but try to reply. Everybody should go to the
your slides are not moving.
Oh, this is very, very difficult. So what I'll do is I'll just, I find this difficult because I do not know why it is not, now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
It's moving.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm not in I'm not in a full screen mode. Okay.
That's okay.
I put in a full screen mode. It was not moving and it is not in full screen. Only thing is people very difficult to understand our Zoom, all your platforms, whatever we are using. Sometimes we are technically ignorant. Sometimes we are technically more literate, but still system doesn't cooperate. I do not know whom should be blamed. Thank you. Otherwise, I can do one thing. I can put the presentation to you. By the time I talk to you, please, someone can share it from your end. And by the time I'll continue talking, please help me so that that can be. Yeah, I've sent it to both of you. I've sent it to Smita as well as IQAC. Just check if you could share it. It is nothing like that. You got it? If you can share. Anyway, I'll continue to talk by the time you download and share it. Okay. And this is okay now. Okay. Anyway, I put it to you all. If you can share it, it's nothing like that. Now, let me talk about these. I wish everybody should go and as a teachers, as IQAC coordinators, as senior vice chancellors and registrars, and I do not know how many of you from universities and medical and all other fields, allied, teacher education, physical education, sports and cultural. Now, please go through the UN document. 24th January 2020, March 2020, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. First wave. Second wave came on unlock 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Then a second wave. Then people had the third wave, Delta variant. Everybody understands this language. Wuhan 2019. But Government of India declared on 24th. Now, NAC, we have given the definition of 19, 20, 20, 21, 22, 22 academic year in order to help the colleges, facilitate the colleges, because people were unable to come. We pray God and sincerely that the whole world should not have this COVID. People are predicting about fourth wave. So many dears and near ones we have lost. But given the situation, there's a wonderful document on Commonwealth of Learning and by UGC and the MHRD has come. The earlier now the Ministry of Education has come out with some 3 documents. How to do online teaching. Now you go to the UN document and see the 7 sustainable development goals to be achieved. So this is very important, ladies and gentlemen. It is easy to, to put a presentation and talk. In a classroom situation, are we able to practice in a teaching, in a pedagogy, first year BSc Mathematics, first semester, fourth semester MA English literature or Telugu literature, fourth semester. What is the sustainable development goals? The fourth goal, third goal, how we can able to practice. Very important. Now the NEP talks about the fourth goal, quality and education, set up by the United Nations General Assembly on 2015. Among the 17, I have just quoted that. I should, okay. So very important is this, based on this, you just see what are the 17 sustainable goals and you must check why this fourth one has been made as a, yes, come along with me, I'm in the third, fourth slide. Thank you. Next, yeah. So the previous one. Thank you. Somebody's helping me. Now the policy reflects in the letter and spirit. You must, everybody would have undergone this. You should have seen that, 470 odd pages or document of the 2019, the previous also, the current draft also. Now 66 pages, beautiful document approved by the Honorable Cabinet of India. The new policy. As a teacher, if you're in a college education or school education, you should have gone through the 66 pages, upside down several times. Now we talk about what is this. Now, when I talk about it, the policy emphasizes on learning with conceptual clarity. Very important. When you talk about transformation vision of IQAC, you must understand what is this NEP. Now, with conceptual clarity, I also used to give an example. A plus B is whole square, or E is equal to MC square, or a Pythagoras theorem, or a macroeconomic theory, or a microeconomic theory. Or we can talk about the poems and poetries and prose and text and literature. Now, what is the clarity we have? Okay, we finished BA Urdu literature, English literature, or we have done our MSc plant physiology. What is this conceptual clarity of the concepts, of the syllabus, of the units, of the modules? Then we understand what is a rubric. We understand what is learning outcomes, outcome-based learning, program educational objectives, module outcome, course outcome, program-specific outcomes, program outcomes. Very essential for understanding. Otherwise, everybody is an expert. Everybody is learned people. We understand. It is not a lesson plan in B.Ed. We put when you talk about OBE, when you talk about learning outcomes, when you talk about graduate attributes. Very important, NEP talks about in conglomeration. NAC is talking about this from 2007 and 2017. In the RAF also. Before RAF, we were talking about graduate attributes. We were talking about students' performance and learning outcomes. But the current model is integrated processes, input, output processes, outcome and out-based model. Once the new things happens, flow, and then we will change our methodology. More or less it is integrated. We will totally try to integrate into the outcome-based assessment, aligning with the NEP. So this is very, very important. The second point on my fourth slide, It is rather than learning for examinations with conceptual clarity. Quote unquote, all the words are from NEP document. Not even one is from mine. So 66 pages, I've just put it in. The next, please, somebody, next one. Now, very important, if you wanted to talk about IQAC, colleges, autonomous colleges, universities, specialized universities, research-specific universities, research intensive, teaching intensive, MIRU, Multi-Disciplinary Educational Research University, 3 types of universities. Then autonomous degree granting institutions. Then affiliated transition stages there. 5 basic things in the document. You must understand school education in India. If we cannot understand our school education system, not that we don't understand, we understand. Now what NEP talks about, is there a backward change? From 12 plus 7, 17 years. Okay, they are telling 3 years at the age group. One way of looking at it is like that. But what is the change? What is the basic change they are talking about? There is a national curricular framework. I wish all of the 105 people who are there, I saw 105 people. I do not know how many people have joined again. People are regular in our platform and Zoom, as well as in YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, in any other social media watching. I want all of you to contribute to this NCF. As a teacher, you may be 1 year experience, just a self-financing MA, MSc, MCom teacher, self-supporting teacher, part-time teacher, or you are going to retire or retired teacher. What is this National Curricular Pedagogical Framework for Early Childhood Care and Education? So many bodies are coming up by the Government of India. So please try to enlarge your horizon, contribute. Even you can apply to these places. Now they talk about age groups of 3 to 5. And this will be developed by NCERT. And this will be in 2 parts, age 0 to 3 and 3 to 8 years old. Second, this will be in consultation with the state's SCERT. State Council for Educational Research and Training, National Council for Educational Research and Training. Everybody understands this. So who's helping me? Mary or Smitha? Smitha, thank you. Next one.
This is Smitha.
Yes, Smitha, please help me. Next one. And there is a very important one. They talked about SAS. This is the last. I'm jumping ulta pulta, last slide and first slide, because I know all the slides by heart. So there is a satisfaction survey. This is basically a learning outcome. In Government of Karnataka, those days, we did a survey about 8th standard and 5th standard numerical analysis and mathematics and sciences and English. So there was a survey to ensure not to put the schools, private, government, aided, unaided schools, all the boards, different boards, ICSE, GCSE, CBSE, all boards together. The attainment level of the children after finishing 5th standard, whether he can differentiate between was and where, or is and was, or article and definite articles. What is A, E, I, O, U? Basics. Similarly, for simple mathematics, simple science. So this, they talk about students' achievement survey. Then they talk about, should I share? Smita and Mary, both of you are missing. Francina? Am I not audible? Am I not audible?
You are audible, sir. I think some problem with Sutaman's.
Yeah. I'm having this problem for the last 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So it is not particular to me. So it is particular to Zoom. We can try to tell Zoom is a problem.
I think
Okay.
Dr. Mary Francina will definitely.
No, we'll go ahead. Nothing to worry. I know the slides. So then there is a student satisfaction survey in SSS. We ask in NAC and the revised accreditation framework. Now, NEP talks about attainment surveys, student achievement surveys, state achievement surveys, SAS. That was my last couple of slides. Why I jumped to the last slide is because of this attainment. So national mission, there is a national mission coming up. This national mission, very important. It talks about foundation literacy, the national mission on foundation literacy and numeracy. This is where I gave a quote on Government of Karnataka's initiative for having a kind of a survey, to have a survey to have a survey and see their achievement. So I jump to the last slides about the NEP talks about surveys. That means what people do critical analysis as well as they do positive side, both sides. I am not taking any side. I'm just only presenting the NEP and the transforming vision. People say, sir, then why there is an examination when there is a national level survey, when there is a state level survey? So this debate, this discussion is good, so that something will emerge out of it. The policy talks about national mission on foundation literacy and numeracy by grade 3. This is very important. By grade 3, which will be a national and will be achieved in by 2020. As I told you, this policy talking about a timeline. By 2025, we'll achieve this. By 2021, by 2022, by 2023, every year they have given. Okay, this will be very important. One, what they talk about is, this will be set up under the Ministry of Education and will be closely monitored and followed up. It will be followed. Very important. It will be, they will follow it up. Should I, somebody is sharing that? They should follow it up. Again, there is a problem. View options. Screen has been shared by whom?
Francina.
Okay, next.
Sir, I'm sharing the screen, sir. I changed the slide.
Okay, change it to the next one.
Change it to the next.
Okay, no issues.
Francina, we should go to next slide.
If possible, otherwise no problem. Forget about the slides. You can push it to all the members by email. Okay, so that
I'm changing it, sir, but I don't know what is getting reflected. I'm showing pupil teacher ratio now.
No, it's okay. I'm unable to see anything. No problem.
We are seeing NMFLN.
Yeah. No problem. No issues. So this is the systemic problem what we always face. Nothing to worry about. Now, very important. At least I'm able to see, and my audio is clear.
Yes, sir. Very clear, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm not bothered about the slides.
Right.
Now, coming to the next one is after the NEP, the basic things. We talk about 3 R's. Reading, writing, arithmetic. This is so the most basics of learning. Again and again, I'm trying to talk. This few slides, I'm talking about school education. If you don't understand school education, we don't understand anything on collegiate education and university education. Now, for this fundamentals, that is very important is teachers. This is a basic problem. Everybody says policy is good, this is good, that is good. Sir, when we find for implementation, state and center together trying their best along with different agencies and private people, private-public partnership, along with the aided and unaided colleges regarding teachers vacancy. Now, recruitment. The basic problem is we need teachers. Teachers in all levels, especially when I talk about school education, we talk about the full, not only we don't leave the collegiate education, because most of the things when we talk about school education, collegiate education is also covered. Now, when the collegiate education and universities educations are covered, I'm just on. When that is covered, then the recruitment is very important. When you talk about recruitments, 2 things. At the school level, this is not for college and universities. They want teachers who are local. For example, when they prefer some people from the local, that means Hyderabad, a bigger Hyderabad region. And when you talk about teachers, local teachers, I am talking about recruitment of teachers. The principal, Madam Osmita, am I audible? Am I clear? Video is clear? Audio, video is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir. It's clear.
Now I've taken an example of St.Ann. Now they want teachers. It is school, okay, not college, because college is highly different type of a policy, higher intellect, higher level of tertiary education, further higher education. So when you talk about school, they want local teachers. For example, they want people from Hyderabad. Then second, people who are localized, more localized, familiar with the much localized. That is what is Medipatna. People who are within Medipatna. This is very important for school education. which is sometimes it is opposite for a collegiate. Collegiate, we need international faculty. We need people from other states. We need people from somewhere from different, from somewhere from, we need from people from Warangal. We may need people from Amir. So we need people from Vizag or somewhere outside also, or within Telangana or outside Telangana. So very important when you talk about this localized teaching, localized. So this is very essential for a school education. Now, when you talk about the student people ratio, we want 25. UGC talks about 20 is to 1, 25 is to 1 for PG, MPhil, PhD, and sometimes it is 8 is to 1, 5 is to 1, and for associate professors, some 3 is to 1. MPhil, PhD, now MPhil is not there in the NEP. So this student-teacher ratio is very, very important. It is program-wise, it is department-wise, subject-wise, course-wise, then institutional-wise. Yet NAC at IQAC, you should do institutional-wise. We don't do program accreditation. When you talk about IQAC, when you relate this, please do documentation. Keep your NIRF in mind. Keep DST, DBT in mind. UGC, autonomy, review, everything in mind. When you prepare the IQAC coordinators who are listening, please keep all things in mind. I'll come to that, sir. Every time we are engrossed with doing so much of work, we are unable to teach, we are unable to do any research work. We are only doing documentation. Documentation. This is one type of criticism coming on. We are taking all criticism positively and changing the philosophy again and again. People who are aware of the, who are experts for NAC will know that we have been in the forefront of changing the methodology repeatedly. So when people do it again and again, we say don't engage consultants. Several times we have told, there are strict warnings on the website. Otherwise, what people are saying, sir, we give 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and some people are giving us self-study reports. Some people are having softwares and checking whether we'll get A grade, B grade, C grade. I do not know. In a lighter side, I used to tell people whenever I go for at least for so many webinars, if you have watched my YouTube lectures, I say, suddenly if government, it is quote unquote, okay? Don't say that, don't misquote Ponmudi Raj everywhere. Suddenly government decides, hypothetical situation, whomever is getting C grade, give them 300 crores. Will any college listening here will say, sir, give me A+, 3.50, 3.76. If there is a decision, you may say, yes, sir, we want only A++, we do not want money. People may say, but I'm just posing in a hypothetical question. So we work, NAC is there, NAC is not there. Somebody else will do the job of quality. So UGC, all new things are coming up. Whomever is doing quality, basic things, they will see how good is St.Ann's College, how good is this government college, Medipatna, how good is teaching, how good is the infrastructure, how good is your library, how good is your teachers, then how are your teachers, how is the library, sports and physical education labs, NSS, NCC activities, how professional you are in your cultural programs. So these fundamentals, whether you're a 500-year-old university or a college or just 10 years old self-financing college, questions remains the same.
Sir, PPT is on. If you want, I'll change the slide.
Yeah, next. No, if the PPT, can just leave the PPT. I'm not bothered about the PPT, as I told you, because I'm moving fast ahead.
Okay.
Now, I've completed some 20 minutes, 22 minutes. Let me see. I told you I'll stop in 30 minutes, less than 20, 30 minutes. National Repository on High Quality Resources on Foundational Literacy and Numeracy. I talked about 3 documents. Commonwealth of Learning and a UN document and a UGC document. Guru Diksha, Digital Infrastructure and Knowledge Sharing. This documents, as teachers, you must touch this and say, no, sir, this is all for school education, you said. Because suddenly everybody is into online, everybody like me, you're talking onto the camera, you're going up, you're going down, some people are standing, otherwise it's monotonous. People don't stand, people don't move, people don't stand and write, people don't give exercise. Otherwise, we do not know what is the dress code. Because everything is online, people are not trained. Suddenly we swam into the swimming pool, we are trying to swim. So at least once it started everything on digital, now it is dual board, face-to-face, colleges are open. Again, people are talking about closure. So when you talk about how good are you in your electronic, otherwise it is monotonous. In a film industry, Hollywood, or we can say that take 8 seconds or 1 second, they have shots. basics of cinematography. You cannot simply see a face for 8 hours or 2 hours or 3 hours or even 1 hour lecture. Now already 25 minutes. You're simply seeing the face and you're talking to a computer. No bodily movements, no actions, no standing up, sitting down, all like on doll we are sitting. So how this is possible? This is where we talk about the national repository. Now coming to the next point, I already told about 3 documents, very important documents. How to teach it. Teaching pedagogy and educational technology is encyclopedia. It is not a book. It is not a textbook. It is beyond. It is beyond. So how each teacher were teaching in online mode. So all these are connected with the IQAC and our criteria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with their executive summary, with all your departmental inputs, with all your DVV, data validation verification, how the third party evaluates it, what is the proof of evidence, what is the standard operating procedure, how to, what is the AQAC, the annual quality assurance report. We ask about documentation, we ask about uploading, we talk about online, we talk about all these things are integrated. Very important is the dropouts. Now, what they are telling is Department of Social Justice and Empowerment, the state departments and Government of India, they will have trained and qualified social workers, people from civil society, organizations, and with the Department of Empowerment with persons with disabilities, people who are partially blind, people who are unable to walk, people who have lost their, by birth or due to various reasons, arms, legs, and different disabilities. At the district level, they will try to connect so that the dropout rate is less, so that everybody at least will get across the country 12th standard, 8th standard, 10th standard, 12th standard, 12th grade. We call it 12th grade, the American terminology, the European style of talking. Very important is our reaching the unreached. Reaching the unreached. Come to Churu. We must understand our country. Highest of, degree, people talk about 52, 53, 54 degrees. Come to Leh Ladakh. It is minus 11, minus 12, minus 13, minus 20. People talk about dry minus 20, heavy snowfall, full ice with minus 20. See the difference within Leh Ladakh and Kashmir. Come to Cherrapunji. Raining, Assam, Meghalaya. So come to the south, you see what's the temperature in Hyderabad. You come this side and see different. See the climatic change alone. Then you talk about the geographical location. Taking all this into consideration, we have the far-flung areas. Then we have the poorest of the poor, amidst of caste, creed, religion. Among caste. So we have people with forward caste, so much of poor. We have the socially economically weaker section, what we call socio-economically disadvantaged groups. SC, ST, OBC, MBCs. We have denotified category. We have other classified people. Government, state governments has here in Karnataka government, we have category 1, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B. OBC in different levels, MBC, most backward classes. How do you bring inclusiveness? Inclusive, including women and transgender, everyone together. Men, women, transgender together. And talk about socially, economically disadvantaged groups. So you need a multi-pronged approach of learning. You need a formal learning. You have an informal learning. The first to open university in India, the very first to open university in India is the Jubilee Hills. What we call Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Earlier it was called Andhra Pradesh Open University, undivided Andhra. Then IGNOU, then the biggest open university was that we have the UK Open University. Now IGNOU, with more than around, the people say about 40 lakh children. Now in the school education, we talk about National Institute of Open Schooling and State Institute of Open Schooling. So this is very important to curtail the dropouts. Now, very important, I'll come about the qualities of the qualities of the persons and the integration. Then I will talk about, I will tell you about the concerted efforts made. Why this concerted efforts for a global citizenship? Very important is nationalism, secularism, democracy, competency, holistic development, citizenship. Very important is a global citizenship education. So this is where we talk about competencies, National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC, NSDF. Now, I want you to concentrate on these 4 slides. That does not mean my earlier slides were not good or my last slides are not good, because I'm very emotionally involved in this 4 slides. Very important is personally, and I have picked up this from NEP, they talk about 3 types of value system. 3 types of value system. They talk about constitutional values, Indian constitutional values. When I talk constitutional, it's Indian constitutional values. And all basic human values. Anywhere you're a human, you're in Nicaragua, you're in Nairobi, you went to South Africa, you're in Mexico, or you're traveling around the 50 states of the United States of America, Europe. So human values, as a human being, you should have some values, basic values. Traditional Indian values, Indian ethos, Indian culture. This, the document talks about. Very important is this 3. So how do you, sir? You can ask, sir, how do you have a course? You have a value-added courses. NAC talks about DVV 30 hours of course. SOP talks about 30 hours. ACT talks about 5 days faculty development programs, online refresher courses, orientation programs of UGC, HRDC. Everybody talks about one line. As an expert, as a department, if we wanted to have a value-added courses, if we wanted to have a skill development, entrepreneurship, or something to do with competency, you are the expert. Refer national level, international level competencies. Plus, you see for this course how many hours you need. Because we asked 30 hours, how many value-added courses? Every college, 55, 60,000 colleges in India have started value-added courses. How many hours? 30 hours. Tomorrow NAC says, no, you should have 40 hours course, otherwise you will get 0. Then everybody will say 40 hours. This is not according to the whims and fancies. As an expert, as a teacher, you should decide the curriculum. It is not university curriculum. These are all one certificate course, diploma course, pre-diploma, postgraduate diploma, advanced diploma courses. So very important. Let me go into the values. What are these values we talk about? If you can project it, I'll be very happy. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
So we talk about sacrifice, tolerance, diversity. I'm rushing through. If you can project the slides. Pluralism, righteous conduct, gender sensitivity. How do you calculate? How do you measure? It is gender sensitivity is not about men alone sensitive towards women. I'm not taking a job. I'm not taking a stand of a male chauvinistic society a stand. No, women should be oriented towards women, men towards men, transgender towards transgender, permutation combination, women towards men, men towards women, then transgender towards women and men towards transgender. This is gender sensitivity in a broader outlook. Respect for elders. The UN document talks about geriatric skills. When your father, mother, or your mother-in-law, or your father-in-law is in deathbed, how to take care of them. How to take care of them. These are all geriatric skills. Old people, people who cannot move, people who cannot walk, people are in hospitals. Respect for elders. How do you teach our children? Respect for all people. No, sir, this is all school stuff. No, this is collegiate. BA, BSc, BCom, MA, MSc, MCom, MPhil, PhD, DSc, DLET. University. How do you respect for all people and inherent capabilities regardless of background? No, sir, he is from Northeast. How do you treat them? No, sir, he is a black in color. I am white in color. Color, race, discrimination, is it there? How do you teach your children these values? Next is, when you talk about respect for environment, we should know about the environment respect. How the children respect the environment? Are our children helpful to one another? Courtesy, patience. Do you have patience or immediately jump into conclusion and throw the people out? Forgiveness, empathy, compassion, patriotism. We talk about democratic outlook, democracy, integrity, honesty and integrity, responsibility, justice. Our children are standing for justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is like preamble to the Constitution of India. In each department, every teacher, do we have an India map? Do we have a constitutionally, preamble to the constitution? Do you have a small book on Constitution of India reprint or print in your library or in the departments, or a world map? Recognized UN. These are all basic things. This is value. This is geography. This is what we call about knowledge. This is what we call about wisdom. A wise man. Keep on reading. This is basic LSRW. Again and again, bounce back to the basic LSRW. So this is where you keep on learning. In addition to your basic domain may be MSc Mathematics, MSc Psychology. Now, what is the modus operandi they are telling us? Teacher eligibility test. State level teacher eligibility test, national level teacher eligibility test. They talked about NCRT and SCRTs morning itself. Earlier itself, I've told you about this. And gifted children should be encouraged. Otherwise, there is a huge problem. People talk about we have to take care of slow learners, but people also disregard or leave the bright children. The bright children in the classes should be regarded, and they should be given some additional responsibility. This we ask in NAC also. In AQR also, this question is there. Now, National Professional Standards for Teachers. By 2022, National Council for Teacher Education will come with the professional standard setting body under GEC, General Education Council. Everybody is aware of that. As I told you, all of you would have read that 66-page document. 4 verticals are coming. NAC is coming, GEC is coming, National Higher Education Regulatory Council is coming, and research. Okay, Higher Educational Council. These are the 4 verticals. When I talk about the verticals, I'll talk about that. Okay. Now, very important is a new comprehensive curriculum framework for teacher education is coming. B.Ed. B.Ed is 1 year. B.Ed is 2 years. B.Ed will be 4 years. They talk about 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. 4 year of ITEP along with 1 year. 4 years with 1 year. 3 years with 2 year. Beautiful flexible system, like a European, like an American system, lot of flexibility. Students are given huge flexibility. So teachers should adjust now. Universities, state governments will think and try to imbibe those values. Now, when you talk about this will be done by NCRT in consultation by 2021, they are having a time frame. So most of the things are being held and these things are being get into the system. This is all about when you talk about school education, this higher education, tertiary education also has been inbuilt. So let us talk about the higher education light but tight regulation by a single regulator. There will be a single regulator. Now, very important to understand, I already covered. I'll try to complete because I exceeded my time. I try to complete in 4-5 slides. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they talk about 2 types of universities. One is you have to say I am a research university, or you have to say you are a teaching university. Over a period of time, everything will be transcended into 2 types of universities. There is a 3rd type of universities also that is called multidisciplinary education and research universities. It will be set up in par with IITs and IIMs that will take care of Indian higher education at a global level. Very important is as each and every college should have an international students office. When this question was asked, we had a lot of feedback from the colleges. In fact, in the NAC original manual 2017, we had how many of your foreign students, international students, NRI students are studying here. We asked about international students office. We asked about many of the Indianized things, especially on how you internationalize Indology. This is inbuilt now. Indian languages, Ayurveda, yoga, naturopathy. So within the country, whether we are able to learn other languages. For example, if students are interested to learn Oriya, or you wanted to learn a little bit this side Tamil, or you wanted to learn a little bit on Malayalam, or you wanted to learn Kannada, or in addition to Hindi or any other languages, you wanted to learn. So these type of Indian languages, Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, Ayush system, music, history, culture, modern India, yoga, and Indology, how you propagate the Indian richness. This is where we talk about when we talk about the transformation vision of the IQAC in alignment with the National Education Policy 2020. Now, colleges, I told you already, still I put the slide, autonomous degree granting colleges with a multidisciplinary institution of higher learning, mostly offering undergraduate. Very important. When you say teaching university, they will do research also. For example, as I told you, maximum, that means 51% or more they will do teaching. 49% and less research. Okay. And if they wanted a research, 51% and more research. Sir, how do you say that? You don't quote? Because I'm trying to understand what is the research intensive universities, or the focus will be in research. The entire UG will be doing research. Focus, intensive research, maybe on programs, maybe on their curriculum, maybe on their approach. Need not be on the number of programs, MPhil, PhD, DSc, DLET, and all are undergraduate, not based on that. So once a regulation comes out, once a law comes in, before that there'll be a huge consultation exercise. Please give your feedback, provide your feedback when the law comes. The policy is transformed to a gazette and law will come, the rules and regulation. So this transition stage, all colleges will become autonomous degree granting colleges in a graded accreditation. Very important. There is accreditation is involved. Okay. Now, what is by 2040, all will become interdisciplinary. They cannot say, I'm a B.Ed college, I'm at this college, I'm at that college. Every college will be comprehensive and multidisciplinary. And by 2030, every district in India will have, or neighboring district will have a college. This is what the vision document talks about, the NEP talks about. Now come to the next one. What will be the general gross enrollment ratio, including online education? I told about ODL, Indira Gandhi National Open University, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, Jubilee Hills. Like that, 14, 15 open universities in different states, and the Indira Gandhi National Open University, Central Open University. Now by 2035, our target is 50% GER, gross enrollment ratio. A boy or a girl completing 12th standard at the age of 13, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Among that age group, how many children are going for higher education? Gross enrollment ratio. Now, last slide. Already, academic bank of credits have come into place for autonomous colleges and universities. I wish St.Ann's College and the people who are listening to go and register yourself with academic bank of credits, and revision of the choice-based credit system is happening. Please go to Swayam portal and register for all the programs. Ask your children. Already there is a message about dual degree by UGC. Without overlapping, people can get 2 degrees. All the rules and regulations are getting changed. Sir, there is no, before you could ask the question, I myself was asking a question and answering the question. People say, sir, there is no time for the children for extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, sports, NSS, NCC, cultural, dance, drama, music. Why a child has to do 2 degrees? Sir, there is no time for child to study. No time for the child to spend with the parents. No time for the child to get a job. Unemployment. You're talking about 2 degrees. What will happen with 2 degrees? It may help. BCom with BSc Mathematics, or any 2 degrees, BBA with BCA, or different degrees. I have talked about aligned degrees, non-aligned degrees. It may help for employment. And National Mission on Mentoring, NMM. Tell your children, a lot of job opportunities are also coming. NEP doesn't talk about all different transformation. It gives you a lot of new governmental organizations and bodies and people for recruitments and people to get absorbed. vocational education integration in schools and colleges and universities by 2030. There will be a national committee on integration of vocational education with representatives from all the ministries, Ministry of Telecommunication, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So this will happen. Now, we will finally conclude on transformation. There will be only one body in India that is called Higher Education Council of India. Under that, there will be 4 bodies. 4 plus 1 umbrella body is called HECI. And they talk about 4 pillars. One fellow is called National Accreditation Council, and he will take care of all the accreditation ecosystem in India and with Mutual International. The other fellow, the second fellow is called Higher Education Grants Council. He will keep on giving money, grants, granting agency. The third fellow is called National Higher Education Regulatory Council. Purposefully, I am not reading 1, 2, 3, 4. I am reading 2, 3, 1. National Higher Education. That fellow will regulate the entire higher education in India. The fourth man is called, or a woman, or a person, or a commission. The council, it is called General Education Council. Under there, there will be many bodies. These are the 4 pillars and one fellow on top. Very important. The National Skill Qualification Framework, Professional Standard Setting Bodies, National Higher Education Qualifications Framework. All this, all the professional standard setting bodies comes under General Education Council. So this is the 4 pillars it is talked about, and one fellow on top. Am I be audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is where the National Higher Education Council, National Higher Education Council, NHC, Regulatory Council, General Education Council, all will settle. Very important is the last couple of slides. It is about the implementation. Who will implement this? The State Department School Education, Directorate of School Education, District Education Officer, Block Education Officer. SCRT, School State Standards Authority, Union Territories. SCRT and NCRT. State Quality Assessment Accreditation Framework for wide consultation with the state government will do in consultation. Now, Cluster Resource Center, Block Resource Center, DIETs, everybody understand DIET, District Institute of Educational and Training under SCRTs and NCRTs. They will have an entire change of their vision, mission and culture. In 3 years' time, by 2023, everything will be settled. Now, let us talk about, I'm closing. Now we have, by 2035, there'll be a board of governors and there'll be an eminent expert group for each college. Every college and university will have to develop IDP, Institutional Development Plan.
Sir, your mic is off.
Saying, oh God.
Okay,
I'll go back. No problem. I'll go back. Thank you.
For a moment it was, sir.
Okay, yeah. I'll go back. Sorry. General Education Council. Under General Education Council, many bodies are coming up. Okay. Now, who will implement this? The entire system will be done by Department of School Education, apex body at the state level. Then the District Education Officer, then the Block Education Officer for school, and for the SSSA, State School Standards Authority Association, state government and union territories with all professional quality standards with the SCRT, including the stakeholders, management, private people, parents, alumni will be discussed. Then there will be a state level quality assessment accreditation framework for universities and colleges. Already government of Kerala and Maharashtra have started. Now, as far as quality assurance is concerned, the Cluster Resource Center, Block Resource Center, DIETs will take care within 3 years by 2023. Coming to the colleges and universities, every college, St.Ann's College and all the people are listening, you will have to prepare an institutional development plan, strategic plan, vision plan. Based on that, funding, growth, assessment, participation, public funding, quality assurance, everything will happen based on IDP, like your governing body. In your governing body, there will be a call of reconstituted by a board of governors. Under the board of governors, there will be an eminent expert group. They will guide the entire college. So, okay. And there are several bodies they have been talking about. Now, one of the important bodies is, I told you while starting, survey, National Achievement Survey, State Achievement Survey, Adult Education Center, and National Educational Technological Forum, NETF. Like IIT, there will be an Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation. Somebody from Telugu to Tamil, Tamil to Malayalam, Malayalam to Kannada, Kannada to Marathi, Marathi to Hindi, Hindi to Gujarati. Translation, Indian Institute, a big institute will come up. Last but not the least, why all these things? Why, sir, this policy? Why, sir, so much of talk about it? Only for deeper and experiential learning. Sir, it was not there earlier? Yes, it was there. Now, change is the only constant thing. It is not just like a old wine in a new bottle. It is bigger than that. It should be holistic. It should be integrated. We are shaking our brain. Either 10th standard, 8th standard, BSc, BCom, MSc, MCom, whatever it is, the course, engaging, playing, games, puzzles, activity-based, inquiry-based, discovery-based, discussion, analysis, like textbooks, cognitive development, character building, 21st century skills. Sir, skill is also the same, sir. What is 20th century? What is 21st century? Is there the difference? Yeah, you must understand once the world changes, the global changes, and Indian changes, and your state changes can be interactive and fun classroom. Questions encouraged. Ask people to ask questions. Exploratory research, collaborative, disruptive technology, problem solving with logical reasoning, hands-on experience. I was told people have done BE mechanical engineering. First time he's seeing a lathe machine or a vernier caliper or a measurement or a calibration. Sorry for my engineering examples. Arts integrated, sports integrated. There are 1,800 girls in St.Ann. All of them are playing volleyball, basketball, cricket, football, handball, dance, drama. Or only 10 girls or 20 girls dancing for all the programs. There are 2,000 children. Where is their equity? Where is their access? Where is their, the engagement, community engagement, music, dance, everything, storytelling, how they are able to tell stories, cross-cultural, are they able to adjust organic living, quiz and role plays, group work, portfolios, chess, poetry, drama, debate, music, fairs, dance, theater. They are theater. I was told even dance, MSc plant physiology, RNA, DNA, and all those things people teach through dance and music in a classroom. So we heard, this is what I wanted to talk about. 48 plus 6, 54 minutes I've spoken. I was trying to control, but I just rushed through. Now we have 12 minutes for question and answers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
We will post our questions to you, sir. Our next speaker is waiting, sir.
Oh, that is why you should have stopped me before itself. Oh God, then you should have asked that speaker to join first. No,
He's
sorry.
there, he is already there in the session listening to you.
Oh, sorry about it.
No, sir, so.
I'll wait. You can just, Thank you. You can ask them to share the question so that we can collect it and push it.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
what. That's
Sure, sir. We'll announce and collect the questions and share it with you, sir.
Dr. Francisca, if the next speaker also, if there is able to answer most of the questions, because NEP, everybody is an expert. You're all aware of it, what is happening. So some critical questions you can forward to me.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you so much, sir. Your session was full of energy and it was knowledge packed. Thank you so much, sir, for spending your valuable time with us. We are glad that you are with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Francina. Thank you, Smita, and all the principals, IQAC coordinators, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, apologies for the late joining. Start.
Thank you. Thank you. We have with us our next resource person, Professor Bala Subramanian, K. Head and Professor of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, Dean Academics and IQAC Director, Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, Ministry of Defense, Pune. We welcome you, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We welcome you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Santoshi Mishra, Dean Student Affairs, the Assistant Professor from Department of Mathematics, to introduce our resource person.
Thank you.
Little quick, Santoshi.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Francina. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Yes.
A very pleasant evening to one and all. On behalf of St.Ann's College for Women, IQAC, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for today, Professor Bala Subramanian. Professor K. Bala Subramanian is head and professor in the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering and Dean Academics at Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, Ministry of Defense since 2010. He has about 3 research papers and 14 patents on wastewater treatment, technical textiles, smart coatings, ablative materials, and nanocomposites published in reputed peer-reviewed journals with around 7,000 citations. His group developed ASTM, AATC, ISO standardized and CE certification approved, herbal-based, immunity-boosting, biodegradable face mask, PPE suit, and herbal-based antibacterial room freshener, Healthy Air for civilian, defense, and frontline workers groups. The developed patented technology was transferred for Free to India campaigns under Make in India initiative. Prior to professorship, he worked as research manager for the most reputed European research organization, UK Materials Technology Research Institute, UK, for a period of 12 years. The outcome of his interdisciplinary research work helped him to secure the most prestigious Innovator Award twice at the UK Materials Technology Research Institute, UK. He received the most prestigious Hind Ratan Award 2010 for outstanding contribution in the science and technology from Ministry of Heavy Industry, India. He received prestigious Best Researcher Award in the year 2014 by the Ministry of Defense for his outstanding contribution and development of hybrid ablative composite as thermal protection system for re-entry vehicles. He received Technology Innovation Award consecutively in 3 years, 2016, 2017, and 2018, for research works in petrochemicals and downstream plastic processing industry by the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. We are indeed privileged to have you amongst us today, sir. May I invite sir to please take over the session.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Santoshi Mishra. In fact, I'd like to thank even the entire faculty members of your college who had organized this, and I think it's a very good. Actually, this is, if you look into my biography, I'm the odd man out compared to all the speakers of this particular platform, if you see. But having said that, I would like to say that because of getting experience in UK and UK-driven university with PhD, I had been transferring various technologies from the university as a professor. So now, what could be the reason? What are the motivation factors? I think as I was listening to the previous speaker, he had covered a lot of things about NEP. And I think this is going to be the last session, and I'm not going to make everyone wait long. Believe me, Dr. Santoshi Mishra, please stop maximum 20 minutes, right? I'm not going to take beyond 20 minutes. You should please be rude. You say, Bala sir, stop, right? And I would like to invite more questions and answers rather than, presenting all the PowerPoint slides. Now, shall I start my session with your permission?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I'm going to share the screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Yeah. Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Good. So first of all, I would like to thank the principal and all the organizers of St.Ann College. In fact, I think you had collected my details from some of the previous sessions which had been happening by a different organizer. I think that was very kind of you from your side, and I had accepted the invitation. I will try to do justice for this session, because the recommendation of new education policy, though we are making lots and lots of documentations, paperwork, taking approvals, trying to refine whatever is happening in the university as well as colleges, I think there are some hiccups also in this. I'm not very cynical, but the policy, as you see, is very good. But how do we make this policy workable at our institute level? So as Dr. Mishra was explaining my CV, I had been working in this place for almost 12 years as dean, and this is one of the institutes for the Ministry of Defense. There are 54 labs across India. Across the 54 labs, we are the dedicated institute for the Ministry of Defense. This was the dream of our late Dr. APJ Sir Abdul Kalam. And today we are in a position where we are able to be one of the successful, very successful, I would say, postgraduate research driven, project objective defined university. That's very specific. So the specificity is very clear. It should be defense related, but with new education policy, we were able to adapt. We were able to use our autonomy that could be useful for the security of the nation. So during my talk, I would try to give some examples of our university rather than what is happening national level. Now, if you look into the overview, it's key concept of national education. I think these are all the purpose of education, the types of higher education institute, challenges faced, practices, key challenges, key changes, and what is the new education policy for the higher education. So if you look into the roadmap, it's very clear. I think these are the things are covered by most of your speakers. Let us come only to 2020. See, 2020, they implemented this new education policy, and they want the complete implementation by 2030. They want the complete implementation by 2030. So when they say they want complete implementation, we had already started practicing from 2014, 2017. Let me tell you why. Because most of our programs are postgraduate programs. They are all engineering and technology with respect to the defense. And also in 2018, we recently kickstarted one of the programs called technology management. Normally, if you look into MTech, people will say it should be either electronics or computers or mechanical or aerospace. But in our case, we had introduced the course called MTech Technology Management, whereby the requirement and emphasis were more on things like system engineering, technology management, intellectual property. So as I could see, like from 2017 also, we had started introducing some of the programs. So what we are trying to say is, we are utilizing our autonomy in a very nice way, because our board of management and board of studies are comprising of very senior people who are sitting A in UGC, B, AICTE, C, in also most of the NAC and any NBA type of accreditation bodies, auditing bodies. So now let us not look into the bad stories. What are the drawbacks of NEP 1986? I think the fourth point I would like to make a point, that there was a freedom. Why they said, if you look into 1986, capitation fees can be given to the institutes, whereby we can go for some technical qualification. So that was a very, very big hit. And the first institute which came out was Manipal Institute of Technology. And in Osmanabad in Maharashtra, we had few institutes, and some institutes in Dehradun. They tried to start and implement this BTech in 1986. But the drawback was, like the deserving students were not getting this particular degree. You see, like they have the BTech in mechanical or aerospace or computers, whatever, but they were not able to come up to the mark because they pay capitation fees. So this was not a very healthy policy, but The government had tried, they put their effort. Come on, let us, because we need more engineers. Maximum number of engineers at present globally, if you see, it is number one, China. China is number one. And number two, you won't believe, Europe is having a big depth of engineers. I'm not emphasizing why only engineering, let me come to management also. But Brazil and South Africa, South American countries, they are also having big number of engineers. But India is also having big number of engineers, but how these engineers are employable, that's very, very important. If you look into the Minimum Wage Act, for 12th standard, you should pay at least 14,000 rupees. But these days, if you see, call centers are paying our engineers 15,000 to 25,000 rupees. So, because of this particular radical movement of taking capitation fees for technical education had been diluted. So the deserving candidates and the deserving students for the right domain were not available. So now if you look into the new one, it was headed by Kasturi Rangan and we have the quality education, but our ultimate goal is 2030, it should be implemented. In Himachal Pradesh, already the state is so supportive, they had implemented this new education policy. Now, I think these things were covered by your previous speakers. The previous academic structures were from 6 to 12, then they go for 16 to 18 to 12 standard. But now we had made it, I think we had made it more micro level. If you see foundational, the foundational is between 2 years to 3 years. Then if you see from class 3 to 5, we call it as preparatory. But how prepared are we for this preparatory? Where are we standing with respect to this preparatory? Then middle, if you see class 6 to 8, vital time till the age of 13. There might be some biology professors or zoology professors in the team. Till the age of 13, your nerve cells are getting matured. So 6 to 8 is the age where the students are to be given maximum orientation on various activities, not just studies. It should be even yoga, it should be some physical exercises, mental exercises, all these things. So that comes in class 3 type, where is class 6 to 8. Then the later stage is the class 9 to 12. But these days, if you look into these two nice block diagrams, colorful block diagrams, we are still sticking and adhering to the previous academic structure only. I think about there are about 108 participants. If you look 114 participants, if you see, you as parent, you want the 10th standard student to finish the 10th class. And the first question you put to the student is, are you going to join Alan Academy, Byju's, Bakriwal? These are the things which you always, these questions are put to the science stream. So this should be taken off, because when they go for such kind of orientation, if you look into the class 4, means class 9 to 12, the students are devoid of out-of-box thinking. So they lose, because they have become puppets. They are just going to this academy, solving some problems, objective models, working on the previous questions, and then they are cracking IITs, NITs, and triple ITs, and whatever examinations you make. No, that's not the way we'll have to approach. So to go beyond this, the new pedagogy and curricular structure is given a different dimension. Now, I think these things you all are definitely aware of it. UG for 3 to 4 years, and higher education offerings for master's degree. But the best part is bachelors, any bachelors, even after engineering, it's 4 years, but other bachelors 3 years. Masters, these bachelors are supposed to do for 2 years, and engineering they do for 1 year, where there is more focus on research-based studies. So put together, we have 5 years of structure. When they say 5 years of structure in the new education policy, a person who is clearing BTech, BE, BPharm, clearing some GATE examination is given scholarship for master's program. But in the case of BSc, BA, and BCom, when they go for masters, they are not offered scholarship programs. These are the points which you should remember. Like, yes, the new education policy for higher education institutes are giving various options, but parents have the full rights to ask why a master's students in commerce and science and arts are not given scholarship, but master's students in engineering, architecture, pharmacies are given scholarship from the Government of India. You know, this we should remember when you are framing the policy, especially for your institute. Now, if you look into the key concepts of NEP, if you look into the key concepts, I think respect for diversity and local context, we know. Community participation. I would always say, let me give an example of our institute. Community participation. If you all have time, maybe please feel free to contact me, and you can have a nice visit towards Pune. It's in one of the globalized organic part of Pune. Greeneries, lush greens and waters, no issues, very clean air. What we do is we have a fantastic lake. The lake should not be polluted. So for the last 5 years, we had made all the community, the village people around the institute participate in various activities for cleaning the lake, for not polluting with plastic waste. So what I'm trying to say is, we have introduced already this education policy where community is able to participate. Then, for example, critical thinking. Again, I would give one example. Within the campus of Defense, we have fantastic Tiny Tot School for the lower kindergartens, and we have Kendriya Vidyalaya School. These two are very, very important schools in the campus. We are 30 kilometers away from the proper Pune center. But though we are away from this Pune, central Pune, the students, the critical thinking and creativity is enhanced for the 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th and 11th, 12th students and the kids, where some problems are defined from the professors to the schools through the teachers, whereby the students develop the critical thinking and creativity. And the best project is given an award. A consolidation award is given to all the participants also. So this is how the new education policy should be. Like, yes, for example, if you take a government school which is sitting in some remote part of Vidarbha, for example, close to Maharashtra border, how are we going to enhance this critical thinking and creativity for the students unless we train the teachers? New education policy is not just training the students, it's also for training the teachers. How are we getting ourselves developed? That's very, very important. And for all these things, you'll have to have a fantastic management, means your principal, your deans, who are definitely going to be responsible for reviewing these activities. This should be emphasized. Though NAC, NBA are coming to us periodically to our institute, with no disrespect for this academic auditing community, we have our own internal mode of auditing, not by professors of reputed institutes. Let me repeat. In spite of having NAC, NBA, academic audits for our institute, with no disrespect to such kind of auditing agency, our institute has got their own individual technical auditing community. And this technical auditing community is not from academic institute. They come from industries. They come from ministries. And they give us the direction that whether the kids are employable. That's what I'm trying to emphasize here. Very, very important. See, new education policy is wanting every student to be employable for having a resource development, income generation for the country, for the nation. Are we doing that? Please do some introspection. That's very, very important. Now, the next slide is about, yes, shift of competency based. I think, again, I will take our institute's example. Since this is a postgraduate institute, we always see to that we perfectly follow some of the tools. The tools of evaluations are, it is not just mark-based system. We never, assess the students by their marks. We do overall developments. The overall developments are, we have some gender champions of various departments. They could be a girl or a boy, but still they are a champion. These champion they cannot just become a champion. We look into their overall progress. How are they doing academically? Are they good in sports? Are they doing any literature? Are they doing any music? Are they doing any social services? Based on all these assessments, we mark them as champion. So this progress is not just with respect to academics. It's an overall progress. And we find it very easy because Defense Institute of Advanced Technology has got about, they have got about 21 Masters in Technology AICT approved courses. In all these courses, we will have 50% of the seats filled by Army, Navy, Air Force, and Defense Production Unit officers. So what happens? The class is having a heterogeneity. The civilian students who clear the competitive exam, they become a part of this particular officers and they get oriented for their PG program. During the process of the academic evolution for 2 years in Masters of Technology, they are sitting together for various teamworks, team-related activities. So what is happening? We are able to focus, make the students focus towards the requirement of the institute and for the ministry. So this is what we are trying to say, and this is definitely a good part in your new education system. Then yes, highlights of the pedagogy structure, I think I have covered. No silos, promotion of multilingual teaching, absolutely. Ours is a central government institute. Though it's a central government institute, we have people across every place. And having said that, some of the distinguished lectures by the reputed scientists are given by the scientists across India. We don't fix only to Maharashtra. We have scientists, as I said before, we have 54 laboratories spread across India. So every month we see to that a scientist from Assam, a scientist from Kanyakumari, a scientist from Jammu, a scientist from Gujarat is sitting there online giving some orientation for the students so that they have this liking for the structure as well as the multilingual confidence which is getting embedded in the students. Now, the next part is, yes, what is the purpose of this? I think this is just an English, enriching mind and improving efficacy and improving productivity. Let me just summarize. I would just share a very nice example. See, defining a project for the postgraduate students whereby there is a consortium approach, a get-together approach from an industry, from a reputed CSIR or national laboratories, and from some defense labs and DIIT, we are forming a nice consortium. So such a consortium for the student, for a project, for almost 2 years is going to give him a different dimension and elevation, which is definitely going to improve the efficacy and the productivity. That's what we are trying to say. And the previous speakers have said there are various types of institutes. We fall under hardcore research universities. Our university got the university status only in the year 2012. It's almost 10 years. In 10 years, we are the dedicated PG postgraduate institute for Ministry of Defense. In NIRF ranking, we are ranked 57. It's not that easy. Just with this 10 years of evolution, we are ranked 10. Why? Because we are a dedicated research university. Recently, a big project was pumped by Scopus. Scopus is one of the online search engine for technical papers and peer-reviewed papers. This Scopus had given a big budget to Stanford University for identifying the domains in all their verticals across the world. From our institute, we got 6 professors who are listed as top 1% scientists in their domain. So what I'm trying to say is this new education policy, the approach of new education policy is giving global visibility, which is nicely utilized by our autonomy structure also. And why it is happening? That is because of the multidisciplinary approach. Now the next one is the challenges. What are the challenges? Yes, faced by higher education system. Let me tell you, again with no disrespect for the national academic auditing people, when they come for an audit, sometimes it seems to be more documentational There are about 112 participants. You can support me or you can even stone me, that's okay. What I'm trying to say is when they come for any kind of accreditations, they are so packed for looking into how I maintain the documentation in my web portal. I think that approach should be changed, which is going to be changed. That's what they are going to do. See, the auditors come and say, hey, show me the list of papers which you have published recently. Instead, you have your own Scopus ID. If they have your ID, they could have done it remotely. They don't need to come to the institute to look into the file, which is about tons and tons of weight, and we'll have to maintain those records. No, we'll have to go in a soft mode. Give them the Scopus ID. From the Scopus ID, globally sitting in a holiday also, an evaluator can evaluate how a researcher is. So there are some ifs and buts, but let us talk about good things. Challenges are opportunities. Let me honestly tell you, yes, there are challenges, but we have a capability to make that as an opportunity. Let me tell you this. Recently, our NBA team had come for electronics and computers, and they evaluated the department, and they had offered the NBA certification for 6 years for both the PG programs. But some of the queries which were addressed by these auditors, we had minuted nicely, and we had communicated to the agency that these are the drawbacks which we found. So the feedbacks are to be fed honestly about the evaluation also. That's what we are trying to say. Now again, this is a beautiful diagram where students' achievement, ultimately you look into the nucleus, the green color. Student achievement, engagement, and well-being. As the previous speaker was nicely explaining, let us not talk about college. Are we doing justice to the kids of 1st standard, 5th standard, 10th standard? Sir, what do you mean by justice? Don't make them bookaholic. Make them workaholic. It need not be completely books. It could be the other activities, so that you have the right hand side and the left hand side of the brain working together, where there is a cognitive approach for any problems. So that is what we'll have to train our new generation. Then the key changes to the current system, let us not, I think, yes, we'll have to restructure, consolidation, I don't know, the capable faculty, then the financial support for the students, which is already there by Government of India if they are clearing some competitive examinations. Then you have optimal, yes, I think, see, what we are trying to say from this is the changes in the current system are to be addressed for the welfare of the student. When I say welfare of the student, he or she should have capable faculties, energized faculties across them. So that's what we are trying to say here. Then, yes, this everyone, I think now people are very much aware of this multiple entry exit program. You can carry the credits from various places to various places. I think these are all the good flexibilities and financial autonomy for 57,000. Yes, this autonomy is there, but let me tell you, deemed to be university, if they are autonomous, they are already operating autonomy. Let me give an example of one more university. It's a private university. I don't want to name it. Private university, as soon as the new education draft had come, these people had already tailored some good programs, which is called integrated BTech program. It is happening in Maharashtra. I will repeat, integrated BTech program. Sir, what is the meaning of this? After 10th standard, the students can directly go into BTech computer science, mechanica, aerospace, and electronics, but they will have to do for 6 years. Sir, this is very similar to diploma course. No, it is not similar to diploma course, because the credits are different, and this is not semester based. This is trimester based. Every 4 months they are evaluated. When they say 4 months evaluation, obviously the students are not stressed with piled up syllabuses. So it makes them to develop the critical thinking as well as vertical thinking. So I think this autonomy is going to be operated with most of the colleges and universities. Then these are the new educational policy and auditors, like National Higher Education, NHERC, GEC, NAC, and HEGC. These are the regulatory bodies, but these regulatory bodies should not follow the traditional way of evaluation. They are to be trained. It is already debated. At least the Space Ministry, which has got its own university in Kerala, and in Homi Baba, they have got their own institute in Maharashtra, and our institute in Maharashtra. We are discussing about what are the queries that are to be drafted from our side to be sent to these auditing bodies, especially when it comes in auditing the technical education, technical schools. Yes, National Testing Agency, it is going to have a common test, which is aptitude. It is going to be science. What we are trying to say is we are not discriminating the students across India, east, west, north, south. We are trying to say, let everyone be having the freedom to do such kind of test, and based on their aptitude, they can look for some higher education elevations. It is going to happen in engineering, and engineering, it is required because the technologies, the latest strategic technologies are artificial intelligence, 3D manufacturing, big data analysis, machine learning, genomic studies, nanotechnology, neuroscience. These are all top class, latest engineering subjects where we need experts. For such kind of domains, we cannot do the traditional way of education. So the new education policy, incorporation into good institutes, especially in such kind of institutes, will elevate and get the students be prepared for with such kind of domains. It is going across everywhere, like legal studies, agriculture education. Absolutely. Agriculture education, design of agriculture education will shift towards developing professionals. There is a course called, I don't know how many people are aware, BSc Agriculture and BE Agriculture. Very popular colleges are having such courses. But how many students are willing to take such kind of courses? Because the mindset for such kind of students are, am I going to become a farmer? Or am I going to become the Malik of the farmer? No, that's not. See, that's a traditional approach. So the approach had to be changed now. How am I going to use artificial intelligence to understand the fertility of the soil, understand what type of crops are to be used, understand what are the emerging technologies, how do I connect various customers, how do I take feedback? This is what we are planning to do with the new education system. I think, yes, the previous speaker spoke about it, like bachelor's of education for master students, then bachelor of education for bachelor's, and 4 years integrated B.Ed. But let me be very honest, I am a professor now, but I had never done any MPhil. I'm a doctor of philosophy from UK. These are all on paper, but ultimately I believe, how are they trained to approach a problem practically? Very, very important. Very, very important. Again, no disrespect for any courses, but what I'm trying to say is, how are we going to orient them when there is a crisis? Like recently, for the last 2 years, we all had been suffocated because of this COVID. Still, some countries are in pain, like Australia. About 60,000 cases were reported in last 1 week. Still, we don't know what to do. So the panic button is always there, but we have taken it light even now. That's great. That's great. But how do we work on when there is a crisis? We did very well as a nation. We did very well. Though we are a developing country, we are approaching the developed state, right? Though we had a shutdown, complete national shutdown from 2 years, we were able to change our thought process. We were trying to support the needy people better than what we were before. So this crisis management for the kids are to be done now. Now, that is what the new education policy orientation talks about. Yes, it's going to encourage them for problem solving, enhance the communication. Enhance the communication doesn't mean that using WhatsApp and just chatting. Communication is effective communication. Like, I would thank the principal, because the principal called me, because my session was from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Principal ma'am called me exactly by 3:45 and she said, Bala sir, aapka session will be 4:45. Please. Fantastic. Thank God I was online. If I was offline, this is what is communication is. So that's what I'm trying to say. Health and fitness, yes. Social responsibility, we all are social animals. Let me tell you, Indians, let me carry the pride, because I have traveled across the world, east, west, north, south. I'm a resident of United Kingdom with me and my family. But let me tell you, the social responsibility in India is top class, thumbs up. Why? Because we are very compassionate of what we do. Whatever we do, we have that compassion, and we like to do seva. We always, if someone is in trouble, we try to give them some little bit of hopes or support. So we are good in social responsibility, but it should come as a togetherness. We all, we for wellness. I want to be socially responsible. Sorry, it's illness. I is illness. We is very important. Creativity, digital literacy, scientific temper, digital recovery, digital literacy, creativity, all these things are completely dependent on the budget of the school. How much budgets are allotted to the colleges? Scientific temper, again, what is the budget allotted to the institute or the university? I have the full freedom to buy whatever I want except spacecraft. Let me be very honest. That is the freedom the Ministry of Defense had given to the professor of the institute. Do we have that scientific temperament across India? Let us check it out. Collaboration. We believe in collaboration. We always collaborate. We always collaborate. And we definitely follow the ethics and critical thinking. Yes. Now, contemporary subjects, I think this is again English. We are going to say how we are going to see problem solving skills. Ultimately, what we are trying to do is,
Sir, sorry to disturb you. Another 5 minutes to go, sir.
Excellent. Thank you very much, madam. Good. I like that type of poking. So now what we are trying to do is, we are trying to say that we should have the innovative approach of using our brain so that there is some elevation in the product, as well as I would say not just the product, but also the output of any type of industry. You take, for example, if you close your eyes, if you, all the audience, 115 audience, close your eyes and say, please remember a good teacher. Immediately, you all will think of only your primary school, secondary school teachers. You still remember, I 100% believe it. I'm still able to see her only when I close my eyes. So what I'm trying to say is, and now you are all big professors. So you are here today because those people had done justice. How they have done justice? In making you use your brain. See, improving the mathematical skill and computational skill is not going to make a good human. What I'm trying to say is, are we having a good brain so that the brain can be enriched with mathematical thinking? Like, for example, you are sitting in your office. What we are trying to say is, close your eyes or maybe open the eyes and check it out. What is the square feet or square meter of your area? What is the length of your door? What is the dimension design given for your washroom? This is called enhancing the mathematical and thinking. We will have to do this. We will have to incorporate this. We are doing our institute, but that's a PG institute. At a PG institute, if you go into, because I'm a panel member in Public Service Commission. I'm sitting as a panel expert for Public Service Commission. The first question I ask is, student, how many steps did you climb before coming to this office? So we are making the students think different. That's what we are trying to do with all this. Emphasis on vocational, yes. Hands-on training is required. How many of your kids or my kid can do the mending of puncture of tires? But still you can do, I can do. They can't do. That skill has gone down. We'll have to develop that vocational skills. Health education, yes. Then assessment, I said the different types of assessment. Then internationalization. What do you mean by international? Just visiting US and UK is not internationalization. What do you mean in new education policy internalization is, you'll have to be having your verticals deeper down so that some collaboration happens, where there is a non-disclosure agreement and where there is an MOU signature done. And after that, it doesn't stop there. The international university should be able to visit your country, and you should be picked by that country or the institute to visit them, so that your domain is also explained. So ultimately, just signing MOU is not internalization. Are we exchanging? Are we having joint projects? Are the faculties are able to go? Are we having joint supervision for PhD or master's program? This is what we are trying to say. Yes, these are all the future 2030, what is going to happen. Ultimately, let us focus only on point number 10, clean technologies. clean technologies. The global energy should be clean. As you are able to see, I think battery-driven vehicles are used these days, and people are very much focused on that battery-driven. How do we enhance the solar property of any material? How do we use the wind energy? How do we use the tidal energy? How do we decompose our vegetative things so that I can use those as gases? This is what is the future. Whatever you do, the future is there for clean technologies only. So that's what the mission for 2030 NEP. Yes, all these, it's all again English, but ultimately let me tell you what they are trying to say is we will have to work together. You being a college, you should not be under the opinion, oh, Bala sir is an engineer, how do we collaborate? As I said, we have a course called Technology Management, where we are teaching intellectual properties, we are teaching project management. Maybe your students can come for intern. What we do, let them see. How do we design a missile? What kind of management properties are required when I design a missile, when I design a tank, when I design a radar and antenna? Think in that way, think global. I'm sorry, I'm quickly scanning through. Yeah. See, the national, I will, madam, just 2 minutes, because this is very important point, and this is one of the strategic program of the Ministry of Defense. So the strategic program says, it very clearly says, you will have to address the increasing technology requirement of society according to international trends. Scandinavian countries are almost using 95% of renewable energy. So we'll have to address this increasing technology. How do I come to that level? We'll have to think. There are 15 technology and 6 application innovation hubs, 4 technology translation. See, you have a technology. Are we able to translate it into a product? This is what is required. And they have invested about 4,000 crores for a period of 5 years. How are they going to split across? It's very, very important. But ultimately, it all boils down to how I make the student, the boy or the girl, become an entrepreneur, have the idea of getting a startup. Let me give a statistics. You will love the statistics. Israel, country Israel, 75% of the population have their own startups. They are entrepreneurs. 48% of the professors, academicians are entrepreneurs. So ultimately, we'll have to approach in that way so that the GDP is enhanced. That's what we are trying to do. Okay. And conclusion again, yes, I think I have covered everything. I think I gave snapshots of most of the points. I think it's covered. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Madam, am I done?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We apologize again for making you wait for such a long time and giving you a very short time to share so much of information. Thank you so much, sir, for your patience. And your session was also very brief, but very, very informative, sir. Thank you so much.
Please, I want a honest opinion. Did I make any justice with my presentation, Dr. Mishra?
Yes, sir.
See, I don't know. I have not opened my chat box. See, ultimately, what we are trying to do is, again, I'm saying the 3 ministries, I'm not self-patting. The 3 ministries are the top ministries where, they have been emphasized for the new education program. For a new education program, policy definition, you don't need to be a part of any big agency or big institutes. But we had the opportunity to share. Let me tell you, Homi Bhabha Institute, DIIT, as well as Space Science Institute, along with ICER and IITs and IICs. ICER, IITs, NITs, they have their own protocols because they train their undergraduate students. But these 3 institutes for the ministries very much focus on research that are required for the society and the nation. You see that? If you ask any of, see, I have guided about 14 students. You look into the thesis of the PhD title will be, how do we design the re-entry nose vehicle of a missile? how specific, the specificity of the project is very clear. So Principal Ma'am, I think you people are doing good job with humanities and science and management with no restrictions, with no hesitancy. I wish that you all should come to our institute, see the session, what we do in our institute, and with respect to technology management. The technology management in project, I teach innovation management. I teach workplace practices, but I'm not an expert. I'm a Six Sigma, black belt Sigma, but I have never used. But what we are trying to say is we are enhancing the technical management skills also for the engineers, which is very important, very, very important. So when you come to us or maybe pull us in some board, we'll be very happy to contribute without any expectations. I'm very honest in this.
Definitely we will.
Because we are all Sarkari Naukars, we are government servants, and we wish to develop the nation pan-India. So this is my invitation to all of you. And I'm very sorry, I think it is the last part of the lecture. Maybe, it's not that easy to assimilate too many slides. Anyhow, I skipped a lot of slides, but hopefully I think I can rate, Madam Dr. Mishra, can I rate myself as 7 out of 10 at least, so that I have done some justice?
10 on 10, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Sarita?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do I do?
IQAC, as a token of appreciation, sir, we present to you an appreciation certificate. Kindly accept the virtual certificate, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I now invite Sarita Samuel, Assistant Professor from Department of English, to propose vote of thanks. Rupa, kindly request you to post the feedback link in the chat box.
Thank you, Francina. On behalf of IQAC coordinator and convener of the seminar, Dr. Smita Asthana, and the organizing committee, I take this opportunity to thank our distinguished speakers, Professor T.V. Kattimani, Vice Chancellor, Central Tribal University of Andhra Pradesh, Vijayanagaram, Professor Meenakshi Sood, Associate Professor, CDC, NITTTR, Chandigarh, Dr. B.S. Ponmudiraj, Advisor, NAC, and Dr. Bala Subramanian K, Dean Academics, Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, DIAT, Pune, for their gracious presence and readily consenting to share their valuable insights into NEP 2020. We also express our profound gratitude and appreciation to NAC for accepting our proposal for collaboration. We express our gratitude to all the participants from different states of the country for their enthusiastic participation in the seminar. We also extend our gratitude to the principal, Dr. Sister Amrita, for her constant support, guidance, and motivation in organizing this student NAC-supported IQAC online seminar on national education policy, transforming vision into quality engagement at higher educational institutions. Lastly, our deep gratitude to technical support team, coordinator Ms. Aparna, and her members for their untiring efforts in the smooth conduct of the seminar. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Sarita. May I request all the participants and dignitaries to on your video for a group photo, please. Request all the participants to kindly on your video, please.
You have to stop sharing also. Poppy, you should tell us when to stop smiling.
Poppy, are we done, Poppy? Now I kindly request the participants and dignitaries to join us for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जनगण.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Bala. Thank you, all the participants. Wishing you all a wonderful evening. Thank you.
The link is still there in the chat box. I request all the participants to please fill up.
We will also post the link in the WhatsApp group of the seminar. Kindly fill it now. If you are not able to, we can do it in the our WhatsApp group too.
We will keep it open for 5 minutes. Those who want.
Yes, ma'am.
Those who have filled the feedback form can log out.